Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. My name's Zycath, bringing you one of my favorite games that I've played in the past couple of years, and with the Long Dark 2 coming out soon, well, I guess we don't have an expected date yet, but nonetheless, I've seen the trailer. It looks beautiful. I thought this would just be a wonderful time to go ahead and dive back into this masterpiece of a game. If you've never played The Long Dark before, it is a just purely survival game. No real focus on base building, no crazy end-game progression. It is a solo survival experience. It is hardcore. It is permadeath. The entire concept of the game is you will die. And just how long can you survive? So if you're a big fan of Project Zomboid, but you don't like the isometric kind of top-down point of view, maybe The Long Dark is for you. Really excited to get this one started with you guys. I've played it before. Don't know too much. I don't know the entire map, so we'll still get to explore some new things together. Real quick, just to kind of go through the difficulties here. I think that Stalker is probably the most recommended. Like if you're looking for a hard experience, I think Stalker is probably where the game should be played. Interloper was the hardest difficulty. It removes some things in the game, making it a lot more difficult. Whereas Misery is straight up just brutal survival, and I think most people probably don't last more than 2 weeks on it. You're really not supposed to survive very long in Misery. So Stalker, I think, is probably the best difficulty just for an enjoyable experience. Maybe if we see some success with this channel, we might try and go for an Interloper. But let's go ahead and start in a Stalker just because I've really been wanting to play it. I figured I would bring you guys along for the ride. Now, as far as what position to what location to start in, I'm pretty much familiar. When I originally started my first playthrough, I explored all 4 of these areas, and just to confirm, I do not have any of the DLCs, so that's something else we could do in the future if we do an Interloper run. Maybe we can start adding the DLCs once we've explored the entirety of the base game. But everything over here, Pleasant Valley, Timberwolf Mountain, Blackrock, Coastal Highway, Desolation Point, Bleak Inlet, Broken Railroad, I've never played any of these. So here we go. We will go ahead and start in a random region. We will play the mill. Let's see, sure enough. I thought that the Cougar was part of the DLC, but I will go ahead and keep that enabled. And we'll name this one Hi YouTube and get right into it. And it's ready for us. Let's get to surviving or get to dying. Let's see how it goes. The foraging for food and water, the struggle for life in a world without masters, housed in a body that man had made dependent on himself. From I Am Legend. Okay. Okay, that's a branch. Let's go ahead and pick up a couple of these rocks, as I've familiarized myself with the controls. I think 2. Yep, 2 is going to bring up our weapons. 4 is going to make a fire. Let's go ahead and check this little cabin right here. I saw that we have a bunch over there to check out, so we'll go over there next. What do we have? We have some...
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Revolver ammunition. Whoops. Cloth. Don't get any food in the cupboard. Singular rifle cartridge. And a marine flare.
That'll come in handy.
Okay. That could come in handy. Let's see. So we've got wolves over there. Sure enough, we spawned somewhere that I've never been before, so this will be fun. We'll have to gather our footing. soon as we can get ourselves inside of the building, I will go ahead and explain some of the things on the HUD here. But first, I just want to get us out of the cold. Okay, there's the wolves. There was something I could do there. What was it? Oh, it was because I pressed spacebar. Dope. Just like in a real-life survival scenario, we could sprint, try to get to our destination a little bit faster, but downside of sprinting is that will burn your calories up a lot quicker. Here in the early game where we don't have a single piece of food yet, I think it's probably best to conserve those calories. Still hearing a lot of wolves howling around here. Take another stone.
Could end up being useful.
Okay, this is nice. We got a whetstone. So whenever we find a tool, we can start keeping it in good condition. I'm going to leave that scrap metal in there. We are not going to be using scrap metal this early. Okay, let's check out what's inside of here. And I'll go over the HUD real quick. So in the very bottom left, you'll see the HP bar going from left to right. I believe it's horizontal, right? That is your status bar. That is your actual HP bar. When that reaches 0, you die. Very typical. I think most people expect that from a game. But we have 4 circular bars as well. The far left one being temperature. So you can see that our temperature is going down. When temperature reaches 0, we will start accumulating frostbite, freezing to death. It is, of all these statuses, it is the fastest way to die outside of an animal attack. Next up is our sleep or restfulness. We need to sleep in the game. When this sits low, we start to see some penalties such as, what's a good word? Start to see our weight carrying abilities go down. Water and food, I think, are also very simple. Dehydration will kill you faster than starving will. Nonetheless, you need to keep all of these topped up. Number 1 priority is temperature. So let's see.
This'll come in handy.
Absolutely. Wood matches, those are something that we can use to start a fire. Books are also a great source for starting fires. You need a couple of different things to start a fire. You need a starter, right? Let's see. Oh, look, we got a little metal container down here. Piece of charcoal. That could definitely be useful. We'll search these lockers. We do not have a pry bar to get into that locker yet. Okay, pinnacle peaches.
Is it food or?
So we got a decent little bit of food to start out with here. Also, that will be a can, so we can boil up some water in that. So those are a really good find starting out. We will not go to bed hungry tonight. Let us see. Okay, that workbench right there could be very useful for crafting. Something that I'm going to go ahead and do, since I don't know where we are, is we can use the charcoal here to survey the local area, and it'll give us a little bit on the map. So this is called Fishing Camp. We got some cabins here. Not anything that we didn't know, but if we start to piece those together, we can kind of figure out what's going on here on the map a little bit better. Okay, so we've got bears around here. Definitely need to be careful of that. Simple tools.
I think I can use this.
Used for basic crafting and repair. I feel like that's a pretty good find early on. Search these drawers. What I'd really like to find would be some clothes. Perfect. So now I can go ahead and open up the inventory, and we can go ahead and put this on. You can see this is going to greatly increase our capabilities of withstanding the cold while we're out and about. As a matter of fact, you can see we're actually warming up inside of the house now. Stalker's not terribly cold like Interloper is, but it is cold enough that we'll still need to pay attention to that until we have the very best clothes in the game. Okay.
Thank goodness.
grape soda, a little bit of water. Like I said, we can boil our water, but finding that is really nice. Some wool socks, they are in low condition, so they won't do too much for us, but nonetheless, still very nice to have. Let's see, hopefully one of these cabins, I'm trying to make sure we don't leave anything in them. Hopefully one of these cabins will have a stove or something that we can use so that we can make
Wonder if
our...
this is any good to eat.
So we make fires inside. We've got a line. Go ahead and take that because it's not going to be very much weight. More matches. Wood matches and cardboard matches. Wood matches have a little bit more weight to them, but have a little bit better chance at starting fires. Whereas on the flip side, very nice. Very nice find. On the flip side of that, let's see. Cardboard matches are going to be lighter, a little bit worse chance to start a fire. So we'll probably use up the wood matches first. Make sure that we're carrying plenty of stones with us. Alright. The weather is not really working out great for us at the moment. Mountaineering
Could
group.
use this.
We might, yeah. There are certain points in the game where you can set a rope up, and those will become a permanent, like, quicker way to travel. Climbing ropes takes a lot of energy, though, and like I said, we don't know where we are, so those are just the pallets. Kind of similar to Tarkov, you know you're around something interactable whenever that little dot shows up in the center of the screen. And there you go. We have gotten cold enough. We do have a hypothermia risk, so we need to get in here and check this last cabin. Doesn't look like we're going to have the capability to start a fire in here. Nope, not seeing any way to start a fire, but looks like we might have the best loot in here. At least I'm thinking. A candy bar. Let's go ahead and do ourselves a favor, and let's go ahead and put on this little beanie, whatever you'd like to call it. Keep us just a little bit warmer. What is that? Okay. More revolver ammunition. Definitely want to take that with us.
Could end up being useful.
That is very useful. Another pair of socks. Just a little bit extra warm. Okay. Now we can't make a fire in here. So what we need to concern ourselves with next...
Wonder if the owner's around.
Once we've got everything looted, at least, is we need to get our warmth back up. Probably the easiest way to do that is going to be to take a quick little nap. You'll see whenever you sleep in a bed warmth bonus of 6 Celsius. So I'm thinking if we just go ahead and sleep for an hour here, we should have most of our warmth back. May as well go ahead and sleep for another hour. Wonderful. Next up, let's go ahead and find ourselves something to eat or drink. I think going ahead and drinking this grape soda take good care of us. That restores most of our water, gets us a little bit of our calories back. Let's see, is it getting dark yet? It is getting a little bit dark. I would like to do... Oh yeah. Whenever you see that red pop up in the bottom right corner, that is your risk of getting a sprain. If I had to guess, I think this is maybe Coastal Highway. We're going to sneak out here onto the ice. Hopefully we don't trigger any of the wolves. Newsprint roll, dog food, a potbelly stove.
This stuff will come in handy.
Newspapers are good tinder, so we can start fires with these. We'll go ahead and take the newspaper roll. And one extra piece of newsprint. We will take the charcoal that's in here, survey the local area. As you can see, starting to pick up into a blizzard. So you can see our temperature has the 3 chevrons down. It's very cold. It's going to sap the heat right out of us. And that is probably going to put wraps on day 1, because we just can't stay out in this very long. There's no way that we can travel to a different area. We still have a little bit of daylight left, and we slept during the day, so I think it will be a benefit to us. Kind of check out here on the bridge to make sure we didn't miss any other pieces of loot. Whenever we're moving head first into the wind, you know, a headwind, I believe they call it, we actually are slowed down, so you can see it's taken us a long time to reach this boat.
My fingers feel numb.
That's the character warning us about the temperature getting very low. Yep, I don't see anything out here on these piers. So I think it's just time for us to go and shack up somewhere for the night. Looking at these plants, see if any of these are cattails. Does not seem that any of them are. Okay, let's go ahead and get inside. And as you can see, it is very dark. I'll go ahead and use one of our matches just so that you guys can see. It won't burn for very long though. Alright, so we never found anything for that. Best thing that I can think for us to do is we can probably tear down these curtains to get a little bit of cloth, and we can craft some additional clothing. So, each curtain gives us 2 cloth. Get ourselves some gloves or other similar items to help us survive the cold a little bit better tomorrow. And as long as we've still got some daylight, what is the crafting hotkey? That's cooking specifically. Whatever. Okay. Improvised head wraps. We do need a sewing kit, so until we have a sewing kit, we're not going to be able to craft any of this clothing. Only things that we can craft are bandages and tinder plugs. So let's go ahead Craft ourselves a couple of bandages just so we have them if needed. And let's go ahead and craft these tinder plugs. And we'll take a quick inventory just to see what we're working with. We've got about 2,500 calories. Could definitely do with some more water. Got some antibiotics, antiseptic. We've got a lot of fire making ingredients. You can see this is our carry weight. We're a little bit over halfway full on what we can carry. For tools, we do have this mountaineering rope. Probably be best if we left this behind. It is extremely heavy. So that's one thing I'll go ahead and do. Sorry, it's very dark. I know there's a table around here somewhere. There it is. We'll just leave that on the table. Let's see. I don't think we've missed any pieces of clothing. Once again, also once we have a sewing kit, we can repair some of these other pieces. New fleece mitts. These are really strong. Really good. Overall, not terrible for day one. So let's go ahead and sleep for about 6 hours if it'll let us. Probably gonna wake up midway through the night. Woke up fully rested, so see how. Yeah, we're only halfway through the night. On the bright side, we can go ahead and drink some water. That was just about all of our water. Let's see if it's still blizzarding outside. Something we can go ahead and do. We can start our first fire. Something's near us right now. Sure enough, I believe it was the bear. So we got very lucky with that. The reason why I wanted to come out here and start this fire, it's not for the purpose of warming us up, but is instead so that we can make torches. Get a couple of these in our inventory. These are very useful for when traveling about. So we are going to stock up on them for tomorrow. Getting a couple of high quality ones. I think that is going to be about everything that we can do for today. Looks like our midday nap really didn't do us any favors. Sure enough, that was a bear. Seems that he ran off in the same direction that he came. Animals will not attack you whenever you are by a campfire. Just a nice little thing for us to know. And we'll go ahead and get back inside. There's nothing for us to explore around here. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, but there's really nothing to venture at the moment. Yep. We'll just sleep and finish it off in this cabin. See if there's anything left for us to do in here. Yeah, let's go ahead and break down one of these crates. Reclaimed wood is a pretty good source for fire. And if you're upset because you can't see anything at the moment, don't worry. Neither can I. Stack of papers. That's leave cabin. This is the bed back here. It's probably too dark, but I'll go ahead and try. We are able to craft a few more tinder plugs. Let's see. Are we just able to pass the time? Let me check the keybinds. I know you can do that, but where is it? Control, no, key bindings, sorry. Is that an option at the bed? Oh, yeah, sure is. So we can just go ahead and pass 2 hours. We can go ahead and eat this can of peaches. Now, unfortunately, we don't have anything to actually open, so we're going to have to smash them open, which is going to mean we're going to lose a considerable amount of what's inside. The important thing, however, though, is we wanted this, a recycled can. Another thing we can do is harvest that torch for a stick. And we've got a 48% torch, three in the 40%, so overall a very good amount of fire. And yep, so we lost 23% of that food there. We'll sleep as much as we can. Once again, woke up fully rested. We're going to wait 1 hour. And let's go ahead. I'm not going to eat this low quality can of dog food, as not only are cans heavy, but anything below 50%, I believe, has a chance to give you food poisoning. We'll go ahead and eat this other dog food. Dog food gives us hydration and food. And just like that, we are now desperately going to have to get a move on with our day. Let's go ahead and use the wood matches to light our first torch here. And for no particular reason, we're going to go this way first. I feel like following the highway is our best chance at not getting lost. So until we're more familiar with this area, we're going to stick to the highway. Downside of sticking to the highway is I feel like there's a high chance that we're going to come across wolves. That is why we have the torch out, though. We can pick up wood to make more torches along the way. Hopefully, if we're very lucky, we'll even be able to restore temperature whenever we make a fire. Okay, is there anything over here in this valley? Little divot. Doesn't seem to be. Rock on the ground. This might be going over a bit of a water feature. If so, yes, we can go down there and get some cattails. Cattails are... Ooh, okay. Be very careful going down this slope. Cattails are one of the best items in the early game. Oh wow, but I don't think there is any. Oh, come on. Cattails not only provide a little bit of nourishment, there we go. Here's a cattail. Provide a little bit of nourishment in these cattail sticks, but they also give us a cattail head, which we can use for tinder plugs. I think I see 2 more cattail plants up here. Oh no. Okay, it is 2. Perfect. Are there any more right here? Oh yeah, cattail jackfly right here.
I need to find some place to escape this cold.
We need to go ahead and select a different torch. That one was just about burnt out. This one is really low durability. That's okay. Let's find ourselves a little nook to start a fire. Preferably, if we can find a cave over here. Cannot find a cave, so just going to start ourselves a little fire right here. For our starter, we can actually use that torch.
Never felt so cold.
And hopefully here we will be out of the wind. If we can get this fire going to a decent pace, it should start warming us up.
It worked.
There we go. So let's go ahead and add this reclaimed wood, add the stick. We can harvest this really low quality torch. Add another stick. And now while that is warming up, let's try to find a little bit of wood, some branches. It's not looking good though. Okay, there's a branch. Limbs will need a tool to break down.
Thank goodness. Made it through another night.
It will continue to get warmer throughout the day. But as you can see, we are taking some HP loss pretty fast from it being so cold. So let's go ahead and get over here near the fire and warming back up. We'll just have to see how warm it is over here. Don't want to add the book, but we might just have to. Wow, even with plus 12 at the moment. Okay, let's go ahead and see. Should be something. Air temperature is minus 11. Step away. Minus 23. So we're not getting anywhere near being able to actually warm up. So we're going to go ahead and go back to that cabin. And even though this is going to burn up some calories really fast, I think I have a gist of where we are in relation to those cabins, but we need to get back to it before hypothermia and frostbite start setting in. Oh, perfect. We've actually got a little something over here. Oh, wow, that's really good. So with a hatchet, we actually have our first tool. We can skin stuff, and oh, wow. Oh, wow, this is a good find. First of all,
That'll
a
come in handy.
windbreaker. This is going to be a outer layer. So as you can see, not much for actual temperature protection, but protects us very well from wind chill. So that can be very nice. Some more wood matches. A broom that we could break down. See if anything's in the trash bin here. There is not. We've got a tinder plug. Nothing in the cooler. Very unfortunate. Was hoping for some type of food in there. We can search this drawer. A revolver cartridge. Always check under the beds. Make sure you're not missing anything. Stump remover. That is used in firearm crafting for like ammunition, but I've never got to that point in the game before, so not going to worry about it just yet. Okay. Okay. Still, we are unable to start a fire in here, so there's only so much that I can do with this. But let's go ahead and sleep for just a little bit. This should clear up our hypothermia risk. Oh, very nice. We survived for 19 hours so far. We're still doing just great on weight. It would be very, very nice. If we had fishing tackle, we could actually make a sewing kit with that line, or a fishing hook, I should say. If we had a fishing hook, we could make fishing tackle. And there's really no point in getting any more cloth than we have at the moment. We will use lots of it later. I don't want to bog ourselves down with it quite yet. Who am I kidding? Let's go ahead and take this real quick. One thing that I did see outside
I would do anything for a drink right now.
are these rose hips. So if I was to guess, I would say we are on top of this ridge that directly overlooks those cabins. Close. Let's go ahead and use the charcoal here. So see, it didn't even mark that spot. Okay. Yep, that bear knew that we were there.
Can't feel my hands.
Don't love that. And you can see, even with that windbreaker, we are still getting extremely cold, extremely fast. And now with the bear on our front door, we have a real problem on our hands. I don't think that these, they will not give us any water. These, as a matter of fact, I believe will all dehydrate us. So we can eat a couple of cattails. We've only got 2 left. I say we just go ahead and eat all of them. Let's sleep for 1 hour. Afterwards, we're going to need to go out and make a campfire and boil some water. That is a must, not a want. And yep, use our wood matches here. It's actually best to light a torch, and then you can use the torch multiple times to try and start a fire, but just didn't really feel like it.
All right.
Okay, let's go ahead and grab this branch right here. How long will it take to chop down that cedar limb? Quite a bit. And we can go ahead and get some water boiling.
I'm so thirsty I can't think straight.
Yep, okay, that's still just the limb. I thought that might be a free piece of cedar bark or something that we could really get that fire going with. Here we go, 2 branches. This is probably a limb. Okay, no, I'll take that. 5 minutes for 3 branches. We'll go back to our fire.
Cold is making my head feel thick.
Okay. So first off, that water needs to melt. We'll go back inside of here to warm up. So the water needs to melt and then it needs to boil. We can go ahead and make some of these rose hips. Actually, shouldn't we have 2 cans? Oh, goodness, no. Please do not put our fire out. Okay. Well, we can't stay out here. So best thing I can think for us to do is to go ahead and sleep for an hour and hope that the blizzard ends. Let's hope it's not one that lasts long. You see, if we could just make a fire indoors, if we just had a stove or something in here, then this wouldn't be so bad. This is unsafe water, but we can go ahead and take that. Got another piece of charcoal. Cannot map in low visibility conditions. Is there anything else that we can do? Guess we could probably... I don't really know if I want to use up. Yeah, there we go. Just break down some of the stuff in here. Or reclaimed wood. We're trying to spend time here, so no point in using our hatchet's durability. Just take a little bit longer and break it down with our hands. Let's see. Break down these crates as well. What a... I mean, I'm glad that we found this place, but God, what a awful start to this day. Okay. let us pick our lowest durability torch. And it's going to get nighttime pretty soon, so I guess the best thing that I can think we do with our time is just explore the area around us. See if maybe we can find any more little huts like that. Not seeing one so far though. Pick up any little sticks that we find along the way. We're out of books, so it's going to be hard to make another fire. And then we can use this to light another torch. Carry along our way. Okay, this is some type of structure here. So we've definitely stumbled upon something. Reishis, these are really good, I think, for curing food poisoning. Something like that. Or maybe they're antibiotic. Can't remember exactly what those ones are used for. Okay, we can grab some more cattails. You see right now the weather is tame. We're in one of the hottest parts of the day. We're actually gaining heat. Or warmth, temperature, whatever you want to call it. Point is that if we can time it right during the day, we can stay out here quite comfortably. Hard part of that is that's a very short part of the day. I think I'm going to go ahead and let this torch burn out. Yep, okay. I changed my mind at the last second there, but it was already burned out. Okay. Oh,
Thank goodness.
my goodness. Yeah, we'll definitely be taking that. It's in very low
Hope
condition.
nobody needs this anymore.
Got some more matches. Wow. Okay, it didn't even have any ammo in it. But very low condition firearm. But if we need it, we need it. I would much rather... Speaking of if we need it, we need it. I think it's time for us to move along. That's one of the things I love about the game. It was so immersive that actually frightened me a little bit. I was, without a doubt, a little bit spooked. Okay, I think I know where I'm going. It's not going to be the, yeah, there we go. I was going to say, it's not going to be the exact same path that we took, but I think I know where we're going. So if we check the map here, you can see we've actually only explored a very small part of it so far. We don't have any more charcoal, do we? We do. Perfect. Okay, well, I want to keep taking the torch with us. That is limb. Limb. Yeah, I like the idea of doing a survey right here, so we'll go ahead, do a quick survey. And then we'll head back to the cabin. There's a wolf right down there. Oh, and a bear. Okay. Well, it looks like we have a bit of a choice here, and I'm going to choose neither of those. I'm going to go down and about this way. I definitely want to have a torch going. I think maybe even go a little bit further around. Could do us some good. I'm gonna get away from those predators and get ourselves somewhere that I consider safe enough to start a fire. Really like to find another, don't want to walk up that way. I'm gonna get myself hurt. Okay, looks like we're... Oh, okay, perfect. That's gonna be it. That's gonna be home for the night. These are both just branches. I'd really like to find a piece of some hardwood. I believe the game's typically going to call them limbs. What is this? I don't think I've ever seen a tree that looks like this in the game. Ah, acorns. Acorns can be brewed into a type of coffee in the game. So that is extremely useful. We've got more highway up there as well. So let's just go ahead, take a couple more sticks inside for the night. And check out whatever this is. Unfortunately, still no stove. That is unfortunate. Accelerant.
What have we here?
Really useful for starting fires in a pinch. Say you've got a wild animal on you. You need to get that fire started so the animal doesn't attack you. That's great. marine flares. Believe these are the only things that can ward off a timber wolf, and I think bears as well will both be afraid of marine flares, but aren't afraid of regular
I'd
flares.
better find some water.
Old bedroll. Okay, so it's not a bedroll that I can take with me. Wow, okay. That's actually really disappointing. I had high hopes for this spot. Nonetheless, nothing we can do about that, right? So let's peek around. Just grab a couple more branches. I think I do want to check under that bridge. I think the game normally likes to hide loot and stuff underneath bridges, so just want to take a quick peek. But I'm not seeing anything here. Okay, let's just go and start our fire. We need to boil up some more water. Water we boiled earlier was obviously enough to keep us alive, but was not enough to help us really make any progress. We're also getting quite hungry. I'm gonna eat some of those cattails that we found. We might need to start chomping away on some of those candy bars. If only we could eat sticks, we'd be rich. Okie doke. Okay, I'll go ahead and show one of the things I was talking about earlier, guys. So, if I take a torch, and I'll light it with a cardboard match. See, it's a 100% chance to light your torch. Then I can start my fire. See, I can use a torch instead of a match. And so, even if the chance to start this fire was to fail, I would be okay.
Come on. Come on.
Perfect. This is something that matters, I think,
Turned out
more
pretty
on...
well.
Yeah, it matters more on high difficulties, I think, but... And then let's go ahead, add our reclaimed wood. Some of our sticks. And then... first thing we need to do is boil that water from earlier. We don't have any other... That is a shame. How long is it going to take for that water to boil? 15 minutes. I think that's just enough time to prepare some reishis. Perfect. And then we will drink this water. Get some more water started, and then we'll go in here and prepare these acorns. Wonderful, 16 minutes until it's boiled. So let's go ahead and chomp down on some of these cattails. One thing I want to check real quick. Healing properties, healing, natural tea. I think reishis would be good for curing food poisoning. So since we have those available, let's go ahead and risk the moldy chocolate bar. We got lucky. Let's risk the other one as well. You can see it's bringing our water down. But since we are boiling water right now, I am okay with that risk. And we are now out of food. We can go ahead and take that water, cook that.
It's dusk, so night can't be far behind.
And I think we've got enough to cook or boil just a little bit more water. Yeah, we can add some fuel here. We've got plenty of sticks. How much water does that put us at? 1.5 liters. Let's go ahead. I want to cook one more thing of water. So, add some fuel. 19, 19. Oh, you're going to need to add one more stick. Alright. And that is going to be day 2. I don't want to end off with it being so dark, so let's just go ahead, whoops, and use one of these low quality torches so we can just, I don't know, hang out for a second, right? Ah, here we are. It's not exactly a beautiful home, but it is a home. Oops. Well, I guess. Yep, I'm pretty happy with that. So let's go ahead and take inventory. We were able to find a hatchet and a revolver on day 2. Hatchet is in great condition. The revolver is not. We've got 6 plus 7. We got 13 shots for the revolver. We've got ourselves some simple tools, 2 marine flares and 1 regular flare. The clothing situation is not terrible. Found ourselves some reishi and rose hips. Those will be wonderful. As soon as we can get ourselves a hammer, we can... Well, we can also cook these up for food. They're not a great food source, but turning them into coffee could be really beneficial on a day that we want to make a lot of progress. And we've got ourselves a good amount of water. That being said, water goes quick. Let's go ahead and end the night off with harvesting this little stick right here. Sleeping through the night. And there we go. We've survived 1 day, 14 hours, 53 minutes. It's still a little bit dark. And I know it's going to be cold outside,
I
so...
could use a drink.
Yep. Let's drink some more of our water. What's this at? 1.13 liters. Okay, that's the door. That's a bed. And sleep for another 2 hours. Character will wake up fully rested. And there we go. You can see we've got just a little bit of light in here now. By holding tab, you can see the time of day. So it is just beginning. The sun is just beginning to rise. Food is not looking too great. We've only got one thing to eat left. We might have a strategy that we can employ for episode 2 to make our food last a little bit longer. And beyond that, I will go ahead and see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.